Hi everyone, I'm very excited to have Jinesh on the show with me today. Jinesh has worked with some amazing brands like Lable Life, Headphone Zone, and Faces Canada. And he specializes in building marketing systems that align with customer journeys. Today, he's here with us to decode marketing analytics. Hi Jinesh, it's great to have you here with us today.
Hey Bhuka, thanks for having me here.
So, Jinesh, you work with so many brands, small, medium, and large. So, one of my questions was that do brands even prioritize or focus on analytics enough in today's day and time?
Yeah, so I would say the brands which are investing a lot in marketing and who want to track each and every dollar spent on the marketing, they do have a dedicated team just to look at all the analytics data that's coming in through, not just from the website, but also from the marketing platforms that they use. They create a specialized dashboard where they see numbers on a daily basis or actually like hour-to-hour basis just to see what's happening on the website, whether they are reaching the target or not. For smaller merchants, I don't think they don't have, let's say, resources or manpower or maybe even bandwidth to do all the stuff because they are still trying to figure out the best traffic source, etc., etc. For them, they just maybe go through it maybe once a week or maybe once a month type of thing. But I would say bigger brands track a lot.
All right, got it. I'd say that, in fact, for smaller brands, when they don't have so much data to work with, it becomes all the more essential for them to be very wary of where the data is coming, where the traffic is coming. But I guess it just gets missed out in the longer picture.
All these merchants, they actually want to know what's working, what's not working. But because I would say, let's say, analytics is slightly technical tool, it becomes, even though they are interested, but because they don't know what to see, where to see, etc., they are not able to take the next step. But I'm sure they are much more interested to understand what's working, what's not working, what sources of traffic are working, what parts of website are working, etc., etc. But it's just that the tools are slightly difficult to use. There's some learning curve, and if they are able to take the next step, then they should be able to understand the website much more better.
For any brand, the end objective is always growing their sales, right? So could you give some examples of how brands can actually leverage analytics to grow their sales?
So brands, what they should be doing is they should be on a daily basis monitoring traffic that's coming to the website, because sales is directly proportional to traffic. Like it depends on number of people coming to the website. Like you can see historical data, you can see all across all the brands. Whenever you see dip in sales, it's always related to traffic. So
Right.
what they should be doing, proactively monitoring the traffic numbers that are coming. And these traffics are normally divided across different sources. So let's say some traffic is coming from Google organic search, some traffic is coming from Facebook and Instagram organic, or even Facebook and Instagram ads that have been running, some from TikTok, some from email marketing, all this stuff. So they normally, like established brand knows, like for this month, X percentage of traffic is going to come from this particular source. And let's say they are 15 days into the month, they should, if they have not received that much traffic, they should look at what are the reasons, etc. And they should try to figure out what is normal behavior and what if there's an anomaly, try to figure out why they have not received that much traffic, and is there something broken on the website, or is there something wrong that's going on the campaign side. So first thing they should be looking at is traffic, because sales is directly proportional to traffic. Second thing they should be looking at is the quality of traffic. Now, let's say a particular platform can send, let's say, a large number of people to the website. So let's say TikTok sends 10,000 people to the website, but if the bounce rate is close to 95%, that's 95% of people are not even seeing the next page.
Right.
The money that is spent on the platform is not worth it.
Right.
So let's say, depending on the goals, etc., we should always look at the quality of traffic also, because we just don't want traffic. We also want more of an engaged traffic.
Right.
And the third thing is actually like conversions. Like let's say how a particular, let's say if a brand is selling 10 products, which product is giving money and which product is leaking money, by looking at, let's say, detail like conversion to detail view ratio and all those stuff. So if they are able to track only these three metrics, they should have a better handle on what's working and what's not.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense as long as brands are clear on their end objective. So the end objective is sales. Then looking at traffic, looking at average time of site, looking at conversion rate becomes very important for them. So moving on, for a brand which is suppose starting off and they're looking at the top 3 tools for them to kind of ensure that they get started and they set up the analytics right, what would you recommend for them?
I would say first thing is always Google Analytics is the best. It's free. It is enterprise level. The features that they provide are much more in depth. It has a tight integration with Google Ads, etc. So you get quite a good, you don't get whole picture, but you get a very good picture of what's happening on the website and how the website is being performed. So setting up Google Analytics will be the first thing that they should be doing. Second tool I will say is some form of session recording. So one is, let's say, Hotjar. It's quite good. There's also a new one which is called Microsoft Clarity.
Okay.
It's better than Hotjar and it contains much more features that it has inbuilt. You can track clicks, you can track heat maps, session recordings, all those stuff in Microsoft Clarity. It's quite good. It's also light. It doesn't slow the website. So that's also quite good. I think we should be like a new brand should be good with just these two tools. They don't need the third one. They will have enough to work on just by looking at these two tools.
Okay, that sounds perfect. Now that you mentioned that Google Analytics is the number one tool that any brand should use, setting up Google Analytics seems like a complicated task. And even if after setting up, brands don't know whether they've done it right and are they even reporting and tracking correctly. So could you show us what a perfect Google Analytics setup even looks like?
Sure, I can do that. So first thing that a Shopify merchant should be doing is enabling enhanced e-commerce setting in Shopify settings. So it's very easy. What you need to do is, so Shopify has done the magnificent job of integrating Google Analytics with their Shopify store. You can track almost all events out of the box without any need of doing any configuration. The only thing that a merchant should be doing is to make sure that this box is always enabled.
Okay.
So first thing to do is always this, after pasting your analytics tracking code, they need to enable this. And many accounts I've seen when I work with some merchants, this is not enabled. They are not getting the right e-commerce data of how many products were seen, all the product related information which analytics provide if this is enabled. The first thing that we need to do is make sure that this is enabled. So after we have enabled enhanced e-commerce in Shopify, we need to make sure that the right configuration is done at Google Analytics level also. So here what we need to do is, on the bottom left you will see admin area, and here first we'll go to the property settings.
All right.
Property settings, what we need to do is, let's say we need to enable data collection, Google signals. Make sure that this is turned on. This will allow us to run remarketing campaigns using Google Ads.
Okay.
Then what we need to do is we need to make sure that we have set up right referral exclusions. So let's say normally, sometimes if you are using external payment gateways, if you are not using ShopPay, the user is sent to a payment gateway and is again redirected back to Shopify thank you page. We need to make sure that Google Analytics knows that a person who is coming from payment gateway is not a new source of traffic, it's the same session continuity. So
Got it.
This can be done adding the payment gateways in the referral exclusion list. So here, first thing that you need to add is your own website, then the My Shopify link, then checkout.shopify.com, the PayPal, and any other payment gateways that you are using.
Got it.
All right. Then what you need to do is you need to make sure that your Google Ads and the Google products are linked properly. So for that, you need to go to all products and make sure your Google Ads, Search Console, and if you are doing something on YouTube, then three things are properly linked. All you need to do is you just need to make sure that you click on link and just activate. As long as you have access to the Google Ads account with the same email ID, it will show up, and all you need to do is just to click on link. After we have set up this property, then what we need to do is we need to set up the right view settings. So here we go through each and every setting one by one. So let's say first setting is view settings. Here all you need to do is just put your website URL, make sure the time zone and currency selected is right.
Okay.
We need to enable bot filtering. And we need to add search query parameters here. So in Shopify's case, it will be Q actually. So Q, you just in query parameter, just put Q and S. This will allow you to see what terms are being searched on the website. So people using what things are people searching for: red t-shirt or white necklace, etc., etc. So this can be, if you want to see a report properly in Google Analytics, you'll be able to do this by putting search query parameters.
Got it.
Comma S here and just enable site search.
Got it.
Goals is a slightly longer subject and it's slightly complicated, but just to give you an overview, we want to track all the micro conversions that are happening on the website.
Right.
So we want to track purchase, but we also want to make sure whether people have seen the products, have they spent enough time on the website, have they added a product to cart, have they initiated checkout, all those small stuff, have they scrolled, let's say 90% of the page, etc., etc. All those are micro conversions. What I generally do is when I work with merchants, I set up all the micro conversions also on the website. This allows us to see, get a whole picture of whether, if let's say we are running any prospecting campaigns where a user is being introduced to the website for the first time. Intuitively, we know that the person is not going to make a purchase. But let's say even if the person has spent some time on product page and let's say have seen the reviews, that's also a success for us. So we can track all these only if we have set up all the micro conversions. Generally speaking, we want to enable product view, we want to enable add to carts, we want to initiate checkouts, and we want to enable purchase with funnels. The next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that e-commerce reporting is turned on. So for that, we need to enable an e-commerce and make sure that we have enabled this, and also make sure we add these 3 funnel steps, because Shopify checkout is quite standard. We can directly put contact information, shipping. So there are 3 steps in our checkout. So we can add these as funnel steps and save. These are the basic settings. There are many more complex settings that we can go through. But for now, if you have enabled these settings, you are better than 95% of other merchants on Shopify.
This is really, really helpful. I think once the initial setup is done, merchants will start seeing all the data flow in, and it will definitely help them scale a lot faster and reach their goals. But I was wondering that there are like Google Analytics, once even after you set up, there are so many different types of reports. So could you help us understand what are the top reports to even look at?
Google Analytics is divided into 4 main sections. One is audience. In audience, you'll come to know who are the people who come to the website, like what devices do they use, what is their demographics, are they male, are they female, etc., etc. All this, the who question can be answered in audience section.
Got it.
Where acquisition answers gives us answers to source of traffic. Where did they come from? How many people came? How, etc., etc. The where question, or where did they come from? Behavior is what question, like what did they do on the website? Did they browse from page X to page Y? How much time did they spend on the website? Did they use a particular feature on the website? All those questions can be answered in behavior section. And conversion is all about, did they buy, or did they actually added a product to a cart? This has to do with the goals that we have set up, like on the website. We need to always go to analytics with a particular question in our mind. Normally, the first question that a merchant will have is how many people came to the website, or where did they come from. So for that, the number 1 report that they should be going is in source medium report. So for all you need to do is go to acquisitions, go to all traffic, and then select source medium.
Okay.
Analytics is slightly slow. It takes some time because there's a lot of data. So you'll have to be slightly patient with that. Okay, so now first, as soon as you go to acquisition or traffic source medium, the next thing that you need to do is you need to select the date range. Right. Generally speaking, you are interested in last 30 days data. So here I'm just going to select last 30 days and apply. All right. Okay. So now I come to know on this particular website, I know on an average there are 1,000 people coming to the website. Sometimes there's spike and sometimes there's lull. So at least I know that 1,000 people came to the website. And if I were to add a revenue graph, I'm pretty sure that it'll be in, like generally speaking, it's in proportion to the traffic that's coming to the website.
All right.
Yeah. So now next thing that we want to see is like what are the different sources of traffic. Now this particular brand, the more than 45% of the traffic is coming from Facebook CPC.
Right.
And just from this report, I'll come to know which particular source of traffic is giving how many sessions, how many people are coming to the website from which particular session. What is the bounce rate of each session? Bounce rate means the person who came to the website and did not go to a second page or next page. They just either closed the browser or they pressed back button.
Right.
Yeah. So here I come to know that the bounce rates of different sources. So here there is no single right or wrong percentage. All we need to know is a relative percentage. So let's say here this is percent and here this is 20%. So now link in bio referral is the source of this quality of traffic is better than Facebook CPC ads, which is as expected because the ads, the Facebook CPC ads are being directed to new audience, and link in bio is mostly people who already follow us on Instagram and they are just coming to see what's new on the website.
Right.
And the last thing that we should be looking at is relative conversion rate of each and every source of traffic. So here I come to know, let's say Google CPC, I'm getting 0.45% conversion rate. Newsletters, I'm getting 2% conversion rate, which are much better compared to, let's say, just 0.4% from a referral source sending traffic.
This is very helpful because I think no merchant out there is running a single channel marketing campaign. Everyone is leveraging Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So it's always very omni-channel in nature. So to understand how each channel is performing really helps in planning your media budgets, planning optimizations, planning creative. So this gives a great understanding right there from this one report only. If you had to say that, okay, in the morning for the the brand owner, he needs to see one quick snapshot of how the metrics are flowing into each other and what is the overall picture looking like. Is there some report that can help them do that?
The other report that is there, which allows them to see a good snapshot of how the website is performing, requires a lot of setup. But if you set it up once, you get to see the whole picture of the website. So it's called funnel visualization.
Got it.
It requires setup, and once you set it up, you'll come to know, like you can see exactly how the website has been performing. So let's say on this particular store, I know that in last 30 days, 29,000 people came to the website. Out of them, 1,600 people went to the cart, and from 1,600 people, 1,500 went to contact information, 1,100 went to shipping information, etc., etc. And then at the end, we got 679 purchases. So now this can be actually monitored on a daily basis just to understand where the drop is. So sometimes, let's say on a random day, we see instead of receiving 100 orders, we have just received 5 orders for whatever reason.
Right.
It could be a case that maybe the payment system is broken or something is broken. So this allows us to see exactly where the leakage is. Once we set up a benchmark that for every X number of people, we should be receiving this many orders. But where exactly is the system broken down can be known by using this funnel visualization.
All right. Yeah, this is really helpful because in just 5 quick minutes, I know exactly if things are going well, what's the conversion percentage, what's going wrong, what I need to do. So I think the efforts of setting this part of the funnel would really rewards in the long term. All right, so now moving into a quick rapid fire with you, and you have to keep your answers as honest, as brief, and as quick as possible. So starting with the question number 1, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book on analytics is actually called Website Analytics 2.0 by Avinash Kaushik. It's quite good. It's an international bestseller. Actually, I'll give you 2 books. There's also a good book called Making Websites Win. It's really, really good. It's practical, it's no nonsense, and it's a must read for anybody who is doing any type of any type of online business.
Next thing is, what's your favorite marketing tool?
My favorite marketing tool will be actually Google Analytics. It's a no-brainer. It's the best tool available. It's an enterprise tool available for free.
So, can you name one brand who you think is doing an awesome job at their website?
From website design point of view, I really like sleepyowl.co.
Okay.
The design is quite great. The messaging, the way the product is presented, the videos that they put on the product page, everything is superlative. It's very, very good. It just makes you buy the coffee. That's
right.
The ultimate goal.
Right. Yeah. One sin that you've seen a lot of brands commit.
I would say not putting tracking in place would be, let's say, first thing. Because, in 2021, there should be no reason why we should not be measuring our marketing activities or any type of activities. So most of the, I would say one sin is not having those goals in place and not tracking those goals.
So thanks so much for joining us today. It was super meaningful for, I think, brands of all sizes to firstly get started with analytics and then keep growing with the help of analytics. And we will definitely love to have you again on the show for covering the in-depth analysis of all these reports.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was great talking with you. And if any of the viewers have any questions around analytics, etc., feel free to contact me. I'll be happy to help you.
So viewers, I'm leaving the contact details right here. So do reach out to Jinesh for any possible queries for analytics, setup and website. Bye.